My name is Stewart Thornhill. I'm Executive Director of the Zell Lurie Institute for Entrepreneurial Studies at the University of Michigan. One of the projects we've just started is called MADE, Michigan Academy for Developing Entrepreneurs. And we're working in developing economies to try to help entrepreneur ecosystems, entrepreneur educators, and investors build out entrepreneurial activity in their regions to help strengthen their economies. The projects have come as a result of student initiatives that they do as part of their course credit while in our MBA program. For the last 8 weeks of every MBA 1's career, they go and work on consulting projects in a group of 4 to 5. Now, each year we have anywhere from 5 to 10 projects that take place in emerging economies focused on helping develop entrepreneurship. So over the past several years, we've actually built a global network of partners who have engaged with our students working on these initiatives. Our goal right now is to help those individual partners around the world learn from each other so that the best practice in Kosovo, as an example of a place we visited recently, can help those in Vietnam, and what they learn may help someone in rural India or Morocco. So it's really connecting these nodes of a network and helping them learn from each other. One of the kind of challenges of operating in the U.S. is it's easy to become spoiled here because in some ways there's such a strong ecosystem of investors and technology and universities, hubs like Silicon Valley and Massachusetts and what's happening in places like Austin, that we forget how hard it can be to bootstrap a business when there isn't that widely available capital at the early stage of a new venture startup. So when you travel outside of the U.S., you don't have that sophisticated venture capital network. It's often small startups really just trying to grow organically with the money that they can create from their own earnings, perhaps with a corporate sponsor from a large family enterprise who sees the potential and might be able to help them invest. But the other thing that can be a real limiting factor outside the U.S. is here if you fail, you declare bankruptcy, and then you get to wash your hands of it and start fresh again. In most of the rest of the world, you don't get to start fresh again, right? That debt stays with you. That debt can stay with your family. It can stay for generations. And so the downside risk facing entrepreneurs around the world is much more severe than facing entrepreneurs in the U.S. So here, we've got great access to capital, and the downside risk is limited by our legal system. The rest of the world is under very different constraints, and we have to learn from that. And that's really the goal of this, is the more places we experience working with entrepreneurs and learn from them, the more we can help them learn from each other. One of the countries I had an opportunity to teach in was Argentina in the early 2000s, just coming out of a couple of decades of very difficult dictatorship. And in that environment, economic success was often seen as a political threat. And so in an environment where there's been a state of repression or challenges to physical safety that were associated with economic success, it shouldn't be surprising that the last thing anyone wants to do is stick their head up, because as the saying goes, the flower that sticks up gets cut off. So encouraging people that it's okay to be entrepreneurial in those places takes a long time, often a full generation, and that's my guess is a lot of these things may take a full generation to go forward. In other countries where there's been economic insecurity, finding a secure job, another example is in France, where government jobs are highly sought after because of the security that they provide. And Europe's an interesting case in that if you travel from north to south in Europe, personal experience, and I'm not going to try to back this up with data, but this is a lot of personal experience. The further north I've been in Europe, the more there's belief in a business plan and solid execution, and sticking to fundamentals will lead to success. And the closer I get to the Mediterranean waters and the warmth and the sunshine, the more luck and serendipity and joy tend to enter the equation. Our projects are called Multidisciplinary Action Learning Projects. MAP is the acronym. It's at the Ross School of Business at the University of Michigan. Gail Amex is our intrepid coordinator who makes all of these things happen. But if you go onto our website at Ross School of Business, it's MAP projects. We're always looking for submissions, great projects that we can send our students out to.